Yo. FIFA just TV here. Well, same, but we're live for the um Inoue versus what's it called? Inoue versus Tszyu fight. Literally fights like 2 fights away. But I wanted to go live for the Dennis Hogan fight as well. Supposedly we're supposed to have a good fight. So supposed to be fighting someone not half bad. It'd be entertaining to watch him. He's a dude who's lost, I think, what his last like 4 fights or something like that. I know he lost to Charlo, Tszyu. He also fought Mongia. Who else did he lose to? I can't remember. Has he got a win in between those fights? I'm not 100% sure. I know he lost to. I know he lost. I know he lost to. I know he definitely lost his last 3. Maybe even lost his last 4. I could be wrong. Can't remember the last time I actually see the dude win. So, the interesting fight. The dude who's fighting is supposed to be a good fight. I don't know. So I wanted to go live for that. But there's another fight on at the moment. Never heard of these dudes. They're like, never heard of them. It's the 8th round. So the Dennis Hogan fight's supposed to be next, and then Tszyu from what I'm supposed to know, from what I've been told. So Tszyu should start at 10:50 my time. So like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But I probably expect it to be a little bit later. We might potentially get people to jump in as well, depending on how the live goes. What's up, King? Shout out to you, Joe. Bro, if you haven't made your predictions on the site, you might want to make it now because the fight starts at fight starts at maybe within the next hour 10. So those who haven't made their predictions, and Jamie, I know you're in the fantasy league, so you might want to make your prediction if you haven't. Andre Southgate, if you haven't as well, you might want to make it. What's going on? What time is the fight on? The fight's on probably in the next hour, bro. I'm not gonna lie, hour 10. The Dennis Hogan fight's on next, so that's why I wanted to watch that. See what you guys think of that fight. But in the meantime, I want to know what you guys think of this whole Canelo saga. I mean, we spoke about Fury and White yesterday. It's ironic because Fury came out with an Instagram post saying that he's happy to be the WBC champion or WBC king or something. The obviously throwing a little bit of shade at Dylan White, but I want to know what you guys think of that. And I want to know, but first I want to know what you guys think of the Canelo saga because that is typical Canelo, to be honest. I don't know why people are upset and surprised. It's typical Canelo doing what he's doing right now. I mean, again, this dude can get away with anything in boxing because when you generate a certain amount of money, when you generate a certain amount of audience, no matter who you fight, you're going to get that crowd, you're going to get that guaranteed purse. You're also going to be able to win over the casual fan with statements like 5-weight world champion and stuff like that. 2-weight unified champion, former undisputed champion, but every single division comes with an asterisk. So, to me, when you look at the current landscape of boxing, Canelo's the only fighter in the sport who can call out anyone he wants and guarantee he's going to get that fight. No one else has that luxury. And when you look at the landscape, boxing is about fighting the best fighter available. It's not always about fighting the best fighter, but fighting the best fighter available. Like when Crawford is about to fight Porter, he's not the best fighter, but he's the best fighter available. When he fought Plant, you can give him credit. You can let him get away with that because it's for undisputed, but it's the best fight available at that time. There's no way that you can tell me that Makabu is the best fight available at cruiserweight. No way. Because I'm gonna get into it later today. I'm not going because I think we're gonna go live about it. But for those who don't know, like I'm a cruiserweight connoisseur. I'm a cruiserweight connoisseur. Cruiserweight's one of the divisions I follow real deep, real deep. So this whole 5-weight world champion is actually a facade anyway, because anybody knows the history of the WBC and the cruiserweight division, they know that Maccabi shouldn't even be champion right now. So I'm not going to get into that today, but we'll get into it later. Jamie Leroy, Canelo looking to move to cruiserweight apparently. Yeah, this is what he does. He looks for the easiest fight and he takes the easiest fight. That's what he does. Andre Southgate says Canelo, the face of boxing at the moment. Whatever he decides goes ahead. Exactly. That's my point. Yeah, I made my prediction last week for this fight. Fair enough, bro. Canelo got a great management team around him. They manage Canelo well in picking fights at the right time. Facts. It's all about picking fights. Here is me. Here I am thinking that the cherry tree or the cherry bush is barren. There's no more cherries to pick. He comes out of the blue and finds a random cherry that I would have never thought. But if you think about it, it's just a typical Canelo move. He done the same thing when he fought Kovalev. But here's the spin on it. Maccabi's actually a good fighter. And Maccabi poses more threat of beating Canelo than Plant did, Saunders did, and Callum Smith and Danny Jacobs. He has more chance of beating him than all of those 4 dudes, because he has amazing power, like freakish power. You guys will see if you haven't seen him fight. Like, this dude has an amazing stain remover. And when I say stain, I don't mean STAIN. I mean STAYN. And that means if you stay in, he can remove you from where you are. This dude is a power puncher. The fight I would want everybody to go and watch is either the Sislak fight or the not the Alexi Papin fight, the Kudryashov fight. Those 2 fights right there will show you. And even Tony Belly to a certain degree. When you stay in that pocket, he will remove you with one shot. He can do that. But I would rather see him fight somewhere like a Bradis or Lawrence Okoli, if I'm being dead serious. On this Southgate, Jamie, for sure, the guy is well looked after, definitely, and well managed and well promoted. Jamie Leroy, yeah, man. But yeah, we're about to see this Dennis Hogan fight. Hopefully, this fight is actually entertaining, because I've been catching a glimpse of the other fights on the undercards. They've been entertaining in spurts, but because I don't know none of the fighters, I really don't know how to call it. I don't really know none of the fighters, but the Dennis Hogan fight, obviously Dennis Hogan's been around the block for a while, so I'm hoping to get a few new faces in the live. What's it called? Obviously some Asian fans, obviously with because of Inoue, there might be a few Japanese fight fans in here. Japan's on a roll right now for boxing, because obviously Japan has Murata. Murata is supposed to be fighting Golovkin in December. That's going to be a good fight. Canelo versus Okoli. Okoli would either sleep that boy or completely big man him and win almost every round. But that's my point, Will, though. That's my point. When he goes, it's a common trend. He always fights the dudes that pose him the least risk of beating him. When you look at that cruiserweight division, you might as well not talk about Gomerian, because he ain't fought in years. So that fight, there's no point fighting for that fight. And apparently, from what I've been told, Riyad Mary's supposed to be fighting for the WBA title, because Gomerian's been out of the ring for like 2 years. So the WBA is off the belt. He ain't gonna fight Bradis for the IBF, and he ain't gonna fight Okoli for the WBO. But he's working with Matchroom. The easiest fight to make would be Lawrence Okoli, because you're working with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn would have put a massive purse for that fight. You would have made more money fighting Lawrence Okoli than you would have fighting Maccabi, but you fight the easiest opponent at the time. That's my point. It's about the fact that he's cherry picking these easier fights. I'm not saying it's easy, but the easiest fight available. Just like when he moved to 175 and there was Bivol, Voljic, Beterbiev, he fought the easiest champion, the champion has shown the most vulnerabilities in Kovalev. It's just the history of this dude's career. But yeah, this fight is about to, well, I don't see any ring walks or nothing, so, or the announcers, so it's probably going to be in the next 5 minutes or something. It's Tszyu, but Canelo deserves mad props for Maccabi. It's utter madness. Canelo is a natural welterweight who might become cruiserweight champion. But again, this is why I feel like you can't really say that. The reason why I say you can't really say that is because if I look at the landscape of things, for one, the fight's supposed to be at 190, so it's actually not cruiserweight. It's the same thing he done when he fought Kovalev. He didn't allow Kovalev to rehydrate. He put a rehydration clause, even though there shouldn't have been a rehydration clause on Kovalev on the night of the fight, so he couldn't rehydrate. It's the same thing with what Canelo's doing with Maccabi. You have to weigh in at 190. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rehydration clause. So you're not fighting a dude that is natural weight, and you're fighting the weakest champion. It's like, okay, let me give you an example. Right now, at 126, Kiko Martinez is the champion, is the IBF champion. Imagine someone like Inoue, who's at 118. If he moves up and beats Kiko Martinez, we're going to give him credit for beating Kiko Martinez, but at the end of the day, he's not what's it called? He's not the best in the division. It's just another way of milking the public by making people think that because you're a 5-weight world champion, all of a sudden you've been able to accomplish an amazing task, when in actual fact you haven't. That's just complete rumors. The 190 thing. No, it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. Trust me, it's not a rumor. And someone told me. In fact, I'll tell you, the person who told me that it's gonna be at 190 was the person who told me yesterday. They told me yesterday that Canelo was gonna in fact I can say their name. No, I won't say their name. The person they told me yesterday that Canelo's gonna try and fight Maccabi. And what was crazy is when they told me that, I was like, hell no. I said hell no. I shut it down straight away. But they also told me that it's gonna be at 190. Trust me, bro, it's not a rumor. If someone keeps telling me truth facts, I'm not gonna question them when they tell me something else that doesn't sound outlandish. Seeing how you think that rematch goes, Kiko versus Kid. The truth is, rematch room are always looking for rematches. But the truth, I personally don't know how to call it. Because is this something we have to question? Is Kid Galahad's chin questionable? Kiko Martinez is definitely going to have the confidence to think whenever I hit him, he's going to go down. And Kid Galahad's going to be very gun shy, thinking whenever I get hit, there's a chance I'm going to get knocked out. So it's going to be an entertaining fight. It might be, you might see a Kid Galahad that literally runs the whole fight and tries to win it that way. Of course, I understand what you're saying, but you can't expect a welterweight to take the best cruiserweight champion. So why would you have not believe the guy who told you if it's a cherry pick? The reason why I didn't believe it is because I didn't think he'll be so blatant and shameless with the cherry picking. I didn't think that. I didn't. With Kovalev, I could give him a slight edge because Kovalev had a good name. But Maccabi, this is the definition of a cherry pick. This is a definition of a cherry pick. And he's not a natural welterweight. You can't say he's a natural welterweight when he hasn't fought in welterweight for 10 years. The dude's been at super middleweight for the last 3 years, and his last 5 fights have been at super middleweight. The dude fought at 175. So no, he's not a welterweight. It's like me calling Crawford a natural it's like me calling Crawford a natural 135 when he's fighting at 147. He's not a massive 147, but he's still a 147. It's the same thing with Canelo. Canelo's not a massive 168, but he's still 168. He was bigger than what's it called? When he fought Saunders, he looked bigger than Saunders. And Saunders ain't he's definitely ain't a 147. G5 Jeff TV, Maccabi for president, bro. I don't know if people want me, like, the truth is Maccabi shouldn't be WBC champion. It's just the facts. Maccabi should not be WBC champion. If you don't know the history of that situation, then I'll explain it. But if you know cruiserweight, the cruiserweight division, you would know that he's not supposed to be cruiserweight. He's not supposed to be WBC champion. Just literally, it's just not. So it's the cherry pick of all cherry picks. So you pick a champion, and don't get me wrong, I like Maccabi. I've seen Maccabi fight live personally in front of my eyes. So I'm not one of these people who's just making reactionary videos based on this Canelo hatred. I've seen Maccabi fight live in person in front of my eyes. So I've seen Maccabi. His fight against Kudryashov, amazing. His fight against Alexei Papin, fight of the year candidate. A fight against what's it called? Slack, amazing. This dude can fight. I'm not saying he can't fight, but it's just the weakest opponent. And why I find this ironic is because after the fight last week, Bradis called him out. Okoli is with Matching. So those two fights are much easier to sell, and they're much easier to the public to digest, because the fans know that fight, know those two much more than Maccabi. And it's a much sellable fight. You think Zelfa Barrett got potential to be world champion? I think he did well against Kiko, considering Kiko is a much experienced fighter. But Kiko's fighting at 130. That was at 130. Kiko is 126 now. So Zelfa Barrett, you look at the 130 division, the landscape at 130. You got the likes of the Zelfa Barrett's supposed to be fighting for the title at the end of the year, but you look at Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson, he's not at that level. But Eddie Hearn will market him right and move him correctly. You know, just like he's moving Buatsi correctly. He saw he had another shocker. He thought, I'm pulling Buatsi out this Vlasov fight, because hell no, I ain't taking that fight. That fight's way too much risk. And me and Jeff were saying that Vlasov was a risk that he shouldn't be taking. And he's made too much mistakes putting in his fighters with risky names with no reward. Lara, Kid Galahad, Charlie Edwards, what's that other dude's name that Josh Kelly. These dudes, he put them in with risks and they end up backfiring. So he's not going to take that risk again. Jamie Leroy says, let's get Belly out of retirement versus Canelo at cruiserweight. Bro, we might as well. If we're going to do it, we might as well get him fighting. We might as well get him fighting Roy Jones Jr. It's like, I guarantee you, yeah, I guarantee you, if Andy Ruiz was still champion at heavyweight, I guarantee you it would have been Andy Ruiz versus Canelo at heavyweight at catch weight of 230 pounds or something like that. I guarantee they would have made that fight. They would have made Andy Ruiz versus Canelo on Cinco de Mayo at 230 pounds. I can almost guarantee they would have done that. But we're still here for the Tim Tszyu fight. Right now, the Tim Tszyu fight's nowhere near to be started, so there's no point even talking about that. We can still talk about some Canelo if you want. No, you're crazy, Shane. Can't call Maccabi a cherry pick. I understand what you're saying. He is the weakest champ, but no, you're too negative, bro. Bro, it's a cherry pick because you can pick anyone you want to fight, you can get. Anyone you want to fight, you can get. The easiest fight to make is the Okoli fight. The easiest fight, because he's with Matchroom, and you and Eddie Hearn have this relationship. You could have made that fight in a drop of a hat, just like that. But you picked. If you look at it, he chose Maccabi. He could have chose Bradis. He could have chose Okoli. Those fights are easier to make. Those fights are easier to sell. Those fights generate more money. Those fights are more known to the public. But because Maccabi's an easier fighter, he picked Maccabi. Maccabi didn't call him out. Bradis called him out, though. Bradis called him out. Why didn't he fight Bradis? I guarantee you he don't fight Bradis. I guarantee you he don't fight Okoli. I guarantee you. There's no way, because the truth is, there's no way he could beat Okoli. Okoli's 6'7". He's 5'8". The dude's a foot taller than you, and he's probably got a foot in arm reach. All Okoli needs to do is put that left arm out and circle the ring the whole fight. You lose 12-0 because you can't get on the inside against Okoli because your feet's too slow. And dude throws any jab he throws is gonna land because you're too small to get out of the way and land your counter shots. Never giving people credit. No, bro. Again, you can't, bro. Will, you haven't watched Maccabi as much as me. I've paid money to watch Maccabi. You haven't. So you can never, ever, ever say I don't give him credit, bro. I watched his last 4 fights. You haven't. You can never tell me I don't give him credit, bro. If I don't give him credit, why did I watch his last four fights? I watched it. I watched it personally. So of course I give him credit. But I'm just talking about Canelo picking the weakest champion. It's a fact. It's a fact. He's picking a champion that shouldn't even be a champion rule. That's a fact. Maccabi should not be a champion. If you don't know, then you literally shouldn't be making an opinion about this fight because Maccabi Dennis Hogan's making his way to the ring. So I'm about to do the commentary for that fight in a second. But if you don't know, then I guess I have nothing to say because Maccabi should not be champion at this time. Brady should be the WBC champion. Brady should be the WBC champion because Brady's had the WBC belt. He lost it. He won it back. Then they stripped him from it because of something Sauerland done, not him. And then Maccabi won the title eliminator against Alexei Papin, not because he beat him, but because Alexei Papin dislocated his knee in the 10th round when he was winning the fight. And then Alexei Papin lost the last 2 rounds, which gave the fight to Maccabi. That's a fact. You can go watch those fights. Alexei Papin dislocated his knee in the 10th round, and Maccabi ended up winning the fight on the card. He still couldn't knock out Alexei Papin, even with a dislocated knee. So that's what I'm talking about, bro. Fighting Maccabi is way more impressive than fighting Bivol. It's not impressive if you're putting a catch weight at it. It's not impressive if you're putting a catch weight at it. And the reason why it's not impressive is because Bivol is the champion. In my opinion, Maccabi shouldn't be champion. So really and truly, you're bringing up a statement that's so irrelevant. Shane, I like your take on AJ's loss, man. Brutally honest, it's a fact. I'm saying you are so often pessimistic, not giving Canelo credit here. What am I supposed to give him credit for? He picked the weakest champion, and he's picking a champion who shouldn't be a champion. He's picking a champion that shouldn't be a champion. What do you want me to say? I don't know what you want me to say, bro. Conrad plus Canelo to fade plus experts Canelo to force him to some drained catch weight. That's my point. That is my point. Canelo versus Maccabi has Roy Jones versus John Ruizfield. That's a fact, bro. That is a fact. That is a fact. Jeff, is that you? That of course that's Jeff. Who else is it gonna be? But yeah, Dennis Hogan's making his way to the ring. For those who don't know, go to g5jefftv.com and make your fantasy league predictions. Jeff, I don't know why you don't just jump in and live, but fair enough. Go to G and make your predictions. There's $500 on the line. You can win $500. Just go and make your predictions for the Tim Tszyu fight. And if you get the fight right, you have like an hour to make it. So hopefully Dennis Hogan gets rid of this dude pretty quickly. They're in the ring now, sizing each other up. Anyone who wants a link, let me know. I'll get you a link. Mediacito, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You definitely are new. If you want, I'm pretty sure you're picking Inoue, but if you're not, let me know who you want to win, bro. Let me know who you want to win the fight. The fight is like Dennis Hogan's about to fight, so you got time. What channel you watching this on? Bro, I'm streaming this. I'm a king of streams. If you want to stream, let me know. I don't know if you're new, but hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to win $500, Jordan, go to g5jefftv.com and make your predictions for the fight. You can win $500 on g5jefftv.com. I'll say it one last time, g5jefftv.com. Make your predictions. You can win $500. All you need to do is predict the Tim Tszyu fight, and then you enter the league. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. Win the league. That's all you need to do. Why does he deserve credit? Maybe because he's gonna fight a be a 5-weight world champion at 32 but he didn't win the title at 147, so there's no point bringing that up. And he was 147 when he was 15, and every single division he was fighting at, every single division he was fighting at, he lost. No, he lost. Not my bad. Not he lost. Every single division he was fighting at, he fought the weakest champions. So I'm not going to give him credit for that because it's a cherry pick. Okay, Will, let me ask you a question. Why, if he's so good, why do you not fight Bradis? That's all I want to know. Answer that question, Will. If he's so good, fight Bradis. That's all I want to know. If you're so good, fight Beterbiev. If you're so good, fight Benavides. Because those are the best. That's the best at 168, best at 175, best at cruiserweight. By you winning a version of a world title at that division, you should be claiming that you're the best in that division. But we know you're not the best in that division because you keep fighting the weakest fighters in that division. I'm at the gig. Fair enough. Can you put the link in the Instagram group? Bro, it's very easy. VIPBOX.SE. That's all you need to do. VIP. Let me see if I can put it in the chat. Give me a moment, guys. I'm about to put it in the live. So I just put it in the live. So just go check that out. Streaming, bro. Eben, Cullen, shout out to you, bro, for being in live. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get the link is at the bottom of this. But instead of putting a space, just put a dot, and then you're right up. But what I'll say, Eben, if you want to win $500, don't forget to make your predictions for the Tszyu fight. Dennis Hogan is fighting right now. It's a bit herky jerky right now. Jamie Lowe, I think Okoli cleans up cruiserweight division, Shane. If he moves up to heavyweight, how you feel he does? I think he doesn't have an inside game, and you can't beat Bradis based on the styles I've seen him fight. So I don't think he beats Bradis. And anyone who's got a good inside game beats this dude because his inside game is pretty much hugging and smothering. But he's a good fighter though. Okoli's a real good fighter. How long until Tszyu? I would say about the Dennis Hogan fight is 6 rounds. I thought it would have been like 10 rounds. It's a 6-rounder, so that fight will probably be done in the next 20 minutes. So I'd probably say give it another 40 minutes. Yeah, Golovkin was the weakest champion at 160. No, he wasn't the weakest champion at 160. You're not understanding the logic. He was a natural 160 at that stage. And when you look at the landscape of the division, he fought Golovkin. I don't know how long Will Stokes has been a boxing fan, but this is where I'm going to school you, bro. The WBC or one of the organizations ordered Canelo to fight Golovkin before. He turned the fight down. He didn't fight Golovkin until he saw the Kell Brook and Danny Jacobs fight, and he thought, oh, this is a guy I can beat. Then he fought him. Bro, he did not fight him when they ordered the fight. You want to know why? Because he was scared. That's why. Because he knew it was too much risk versus the reward. And guess what? You can say he fought him, but he lost. He lost the first fight against Golovkin, and he was on the juice in that fight. So I don't really care what you want to say about that Golovkin fight. But that Golovkin fight's got way too much asterisks. He didn't win the fight, and he was on the juice. So I don't care what you have to say. Plus, he waited until he saw enough deterioration in Golovkin before he even fought him. Because let's keep it real, they ordered him to fight before, and he didn't fight him. He had the WBC middleweight title fighting at 156, saying, "Oh, I'm not a natural 160, but you got a middleweight title." Bro, this is the stuff that Canelo gets away with. This is the stuff that he was fighting people like Amir Khan for the middleweight title at 155.5. That's what this guy's doing. That's what he does. Just to avoid Golovkin until we saw enough deteriorate. Right now, Canelo has to thank Kell Brook for his career. Because until that Kell Brook fight, he would have never fought Golovkin. He would have never fought Golovkin until he saw enough deterioration in Golovkin. That's when he took the fight. Because he could have taken the fight before. VipBox TV does not work for me right now. Serious. Don't use VicBox TV. Use VicBox.se. I'm using it right now, bro. I'm using it right now as we speak. Will agree. VicBox.se. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. G5 Jetty said he just put it in the group chat. Thanks, Jeff. This is a BS argument though. So you're saying if you don't beat the best guy in the division, you're not the champ. I didn't say that. But I said when you are Canelo and you have the ability to fight anyone you want to fight, anybody who you call out, you're getting. Pick the best available opponent. The best available opponent. That's my point. And that was the first thing I said. Pick the best available opponent. And he hasn't. I'm going to get through these comments and start commentating on this Dennis Hogan fight. It's the second round. I bet tons of fighters I have no favorite fighter, so you're basically talking rubbish right now. Conrad Boxing, thanks. Yeah, thanks again, Jeff. Shout out from I think that's the Philippines. Yeah, bro. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, definitely go to the site to make your predictions. Anybody who hasn't made their predictions yet. This fight is very boring because Dennis Hogan is fighting so super cautious. I guess because of all of the tough fights he's had, he doesn't really want to go through much hard work. He's really fighting behind a jab, very herky-jerky. Bro, you follow EBS. I can't wait for the game to come out, bro. Can't wait for the game to come out. Eben Cullen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and go to the site to win $500. It's very self-explanatory. G5JeffTV.com if you haven't. So hold on, you said Maccabi shouldn't be champion, and so Canelo doesn't deserve credit. But I bet you also think Okoli shouldn't be champ because of Brady's losing the WBO because of the elbows. He didn't lose it because of the elbows. See, again, you don't know what you're talking about. He didn't lose it because of the elbows. He lost the WBO championship because the fight was ordered and he was already contractually obligated to fight Dorticos. So when they ordered the WBO, when they ordered the fight, there was two orders. He had a contractual obligation to fight Dorticos and a contractual obligation to fight for the WBO. If he didn't fight Dorticos, he would have got sued for money. If he didn't fight Gravatsky, he would have just lost his belt. So at that stage, he goes, you know what? Let me vacate the belt so I don't lose money. Bro, you can go and look at this. It's very simple. There's an article I wrote 2.5 years ago called Maris Brady is the unluckiest man, or something like that. Maris Brady is the unluckiest man. You can go watch it, bro. You can go watch it. Read it, sorry. It's very self-explanatory. And before you say anything about the elbow, if you go watch the fight back, and I can tell you because I was there, I watched the fight live in Latvia when, yes, he hit him with an elbow, but Gravatsky hit him in the head he hit him behind the head with a punch. And after that, even after when the ref split him and the bell rang, Gravatsky was the first person to throw a punch after the bell. But people never acknowledged that. Golovkin won twice against Canelo. That's my point. But you said he never fights the best guys at his division. But Golovkin was the best. Again, in my opinion, that's you think he's the best guy in his division. You think he's the best guy in the division. That's what you believe. He didn't go undisputed. So you could argue him or Charlo or Andrade was the best. You could argue that point. I'm not saying it's the case, but he didn't go undisputed. You picked Golovkin when you saw enough deterioration. If you don't see Canelo is cherry picking, you also believe in Santa Claus. Bro, this dude is young, so I'm not surprised. Will Stokes is very young, so I wouldn't be surprised if he believes in Santa Claus. He's a great fighter, but clearly he picks his fights very well. Bro, it's a fact. It's a fact. I love you, but we argue so much. I know. We bros, but we have a different opinion on everything, bro. It's a fact. I love Will Stokes like a brother, but this guy is just so naive. It's crazy. And I think I'm naive. He's even worse. You got a stream link, G's. Yeah, bro. I put it in the live. It's vitbox.se. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Just go VIPBOX.se. I'm watching the fight on it right now. Dennis Hogan is backing this dude up right now. It's a bit rough and ragged. This guy's got no power though. Got no power, pushing him back. Got no power, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For those who don't know, if you want to win $500, very easy. Very, very easy. Go to g5jefftv.com. Make your predictions for Tszyu versus Inoue. So if you think Tszyu gonna win, pick Tszyu on the prediction league. If you think Inoue is gonna win, pick Inoue. So you can um uh stay within a chance of winning $500. It's that simple. Just go to g5jefftv.com. Will Stokes or one of you guys plug the link for the site in the chat, please. One of you guys, if you can, that'll be amazing. Laugh my ass off, Shane. We're like 3 years apart. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, bro. We might be 3 years apart, but you're a kid to me, bro. Uh, but yeah, Dennis Hogan is this fight is so boring. But Dennis Hogan's definitely winning the fight because he's the only one really throwing punches. This dude did not come to fight at all. And Dennis Hogan's fighting a little bit cautious. It's kind of messy. Someone who's a fan of Australian boxing and New Zealand boxing, let me know if this is a common trend. Because whenever I watch Joseph Parker or Junior Farr, it's exactly what I'm watching right now. Just a few combinations, maybe 2 slapping, cuffing punches, then a tie-up. I'm not gonna lie. If I was Australian or from Australia or New Zealand, I'll ban hugging. Anybody who hugs get deducted a point. And if you hug 3 times, you get disqualified for excessive holding. Because this fight has been such a hug fest. I know Tszyu don't fight like that. That's why I give him credit. I like Tszyu. That's why I'm here watching this dude's fight. Anybody, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go to g5jefftv.com and make your predictions to win $500. That simple. If you want a link, just let me know. There's a link in the chat to watch the fight as well if you want to stream it. 30 seconds left of the first round. I'm surprised nobody didn't pick up this fight. All right, Shane, let's hop in the ring for a spar and see who's your kid then. Well, you're just like Canelo trying to weight bully people because I'm 135. But if you want to hop in the ring, it's cool. But I'm pretty sure you're way heavier than me, way taller than me, and way bigger than me. But we can still do it. But guess what, bro? Guess what? It doesn't make a difference. Because even if we were to hop in the ring, you would still be a kid to me. You'll still be a kid to me. This guy's a weight bully. That's all I want to say. You're a weight bully. You want a link, bro? There's a link in the chat if you want to watch it. I already put it there, but if you don't want, you can't be bothered to scroll up. It's VIPBOX.SE. That's what I'm watching it on right now as we speak. So it's VIPBOX.SE. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The fight isn't started yet. Dennis Hogan's fighting. Dennis supposed to be Tszyu, so you probably won't see Tszyu until 10:30 my time. That's UK time. I don't know what time you're in. Thank you, Conrad, for putting the link in again. This is the link if anybody wants it. It's currently the 4th round. For those who want to make their predictions for this fight, go to g5jefftv.com, make your predictions, and you can win $500 for free. All you need to do is make your predictions. You don't lose any money. Gloves are off. Shane versus Will. Bro, this dude could never, ever, ever, ever even compete with me on a verbal exchange because Will speaks from emotion and I speak from intellect. Will speaks from passion and I speak from intelligence. Will speaks from patriotism and I speak from stats, numbers, and things that I see. That's the difference. This guy, he's a Christian boxing fan. That's what he is. He's like a religion for him. You know, he believes in belief and prayer and hope and passion and all of that. I am very much, I like to see it to believe it. And this guy will invent a scenario in his head and believe that scenario based on his imagination. And as a kid, kids always got very good imaginations. Like children believe that they can be Superman and all of that stuff. So he's got a very good imagination. Liam Malley. Obviously, I'm not going to show the fight, bro, because you'll get a strike and we won't be able to go live. If you want a link for the fight, that's all you need to ask for, bro. It's in the chat. Bro, you're a legend. Thanks for sharing the link. Yeah, it's cool, bro. The link's in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And Animal, if you want to win $500 for free, you don't have to do nothing. all you need to do is predict the Inoue versus Tim Tszyu fight, and you join the prediction league. G5JeffTV.com. That's all you need to do. You win $500 if you do. $500 for me. That's all you need to do. It's as easy as that. Liam Malley, have you heard Americans Foundation is celebrating 42 years of existence? Fair enough. Cheers, man, legend. Yeah, Liam Malley, bro. Keep it cool. If I can't show the fight, I will get a strike. But I can give you the link for the fight. But yeah, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I'ma pretend I didn't hear most of this, bro. You don't need to pretend. The fact is, bro, anytime you're ready, you're the one who ran from the. I've always given an open invitation for you to jump on the live, bro. You can jump on the live right now. Always giving you an open invitation to jump on the live. The fact is, you haven't taken it, so that's on you, bro. That is on you. Oh, this fight is so trash. Dennis Hogan's fighting off the back foot now with his arm down. I got 50 on Inoue to win by decision. Okay, so Liam Malley, if you want to win $500 for free, all you need to do is predict this fight and you join the fantasy league and win the league. You win $500 for free. If you want to do that, go to g5jefftv.com and take your pick. When you take your pick for the fight, you can win $500 for free. You don't have to put no money. There's no admission fee. You just register for the site. You pick the fight, and you can win $500. It's that simple. But if Inoue wins $50, you should get you a good return, because I think Inoue is a massive underdog when I last checked. Jamie Leroy, apparently Andy Ruiz about to announce a fight. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Someone told me that 2 days ago. I think someone told me that 2 days ago. What time is the fight? It's supposed to be, by the way, Jack McKinnock, shout out to you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The fight's in about, I would say about 10:30 UK time, so that's about 34 minutes to be exactly. Dennis Hogan's fighting right now. There's 1 round left. He's supposed to be next, but I don't know if they're gonna send him in straight away. Potentially, I don't know. I know very little about Takeshi Inoue. Does he actually have a chance? He's a good fighter. He can fight. He definitely can fight. He said, "Fucking hell, that's all right, bro." Go to g5jefftv.com if you want to. g5jefftv.com. Make your prediction. That's all you need to do, bro. All you need to do. You reckon Tim Tszyu will be successful in America? He can. I think we went through this yesterday. There's a few fighters I picked him to beat as well. I pick him to beat Patrick Teixeira. I pick him to beat Tony Harrison. I pick him to beat J Rock Williams. I pick him to beat Jarrett Hurd. I pick him to beat Lubin. I pick him to beat Sebastian Fondoro will be a hard fight. I think Carlos Adames will be a hard fight as well. Those are some fights I think will be quite difficult for him, but he could potentially win it. Liam Malley, your return is wow, but I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. I don't think it's gonna happen. I have to be honest. I think Inoue is gonna lose pretty soundly. I think he's gonna get stopped as well. Maybe late 10 round, 11 round maybe. John McKinnock in Australia time. So that's, if it's 10:30 my time, that's going to be 10:30 your time, because Australia's 12 hours ahead of the UK. Who wins, Tim Tszyu or Liam Smith for a vacant title after the belts get vacated? I don't think the belt's going to get vacated anytime soon, because Undisputed isn't happened yet. And apparently Tim Tszyu is supposed to be going into the Castano fight after this one, apparently. But Tim Tszyu beats Liam Smith, because Liam Smith's too easy to get hit, and Tim Tszyu got the power to get him out of there. So I think Tim Tszyu beats Liam Smith. Tim Tszyu's in my top 5. I like that fight. Yeah, it's a good fight. I like that fight as well. And it's a good name to get on your resume, because 154 is an absolute mess right now. It's like a pigsty, because The fighters who we would have deemed to be top, they're not there no more. The Rosarios, the Herds, the J Rocks, the Harrisons, they've all taken losses. So it's very difficult to pick a top five. You got to look at Lubin. He's in the top five. Castano, Charlo, obviously. Tszyu has to be there. Patrick Teixeira is still there, but it's kind of difficult to say where he's at. Carlos Adames come off a good win. I think it was 2 weeks ago, or was it a month ago? I can't remember. But Carlos Adames come off a good win as well. So yeah. And the GOAT Cheeseman lost too. Yeah, he got knocked out, but Cheeseman was never a top 10 fighter. Speaking of Cheeseman, though, I would love to see Sergio Garcia get a chance because Sergio Garcia beat Cheeseman pretty handily, and he's a good fighter. Another guy from Spain. Spain are doing it right now. Sergio Garcia is a good fighter. For those who don't know, Sergio Garcia is a good fighter. Obviously, you got Kiko Martinez and Sandor Martin, but Sergio Garcia is another good fighter. He beat Ted Cheeseman. I think he beat him like maybe 9-3, 10-2. So he beat him pretty handily. He's a good boxer. Like, he's a very slick, difficult boxer. He's very upright. He's an orthodox fighter, hard to pin down, hard to beat to the jab. He's very tall, wiry. He's a good fighter. Charlo is the number one in the division. I never saw that coming. Oh, he said, sorry, Castano. Yeah, Castano probably is the number one right now based on looking at that fight. But you can say Charlo. I'll say they're 1A, 1B. Any way you want to have it, it's fine. They're definitely head and shoulders above everybody else in the division. You look at who Charlo fought, and look at who Castano fought. But Charlo's kind of been on a round robin because Charlo lost to Harrison. Harrison lost to Hurd. Hurd lost to J-Rock. J-Rock lost to Rosario. Rosario lost to Charlo. So it's kind of like a round robin, like they've all beaten each other. Cheeseman's last fight, he got KO'd hard. Yeah, he got knocked out clean, but it was always going to happen because this dude always takes punches in his fights. He never fights clean. This fight's still going on. This fight has been absolute trash. I don't know why I went on for this fight. I thought Hogan would have actually tried to make a fight of this. I expect Charlo to win that fight for sure. But Castano definitely win it. I think if they fight right now, I think the advantage has to be with, well, it's a 50-50 fight again. Because Charlo hurt Castano a few times in that fight, but just purely based on work rate and the fact that Charlo's not always the most disciplined fighter, Castano's got a chance to win that fight and steal it. And the reason why I say steal it is because if Charlo leaves the door open for Castano to go in there and win it, he will. But really and truly, it's for Charlo to make the adjustments, not for Castano, because Castano fights the same way every single day, in every single way, against every single opponent. So he's not going to make any adjustments. Charlo much better resume, but Castano beat him, so he's won. It was a draw. The fight was a draw. It was ruled a draw anyway. I mean, Charlo beat Harrison. He beat Lubin. He beat obviously Austin Trout. Castano's beaten Patrick Teixeira. Obviously, he had the fight with Erislandi Lara. He had the fight with Charlo. You know, he's got pedigree when it comes to the amateur career. His amateur career is very deep. So yeah, he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I think in boxing you need good dance partners, and they're definitely two great dance partners. They made a great fight of it as well. Arguably one of the best fights of the year. It's difficult to pick a fight over Chocolatito versus Strada, but I think a fight Wilder and Fury is another fight of the year. But a fight that's going to give all of that a run for the money is Nonito Donaire versus Caballo. That is going to be arguably one of the best fights of the year. Trust me. Trust me. They both have the power to knock one another out. They both have the engine and work rate. They both are vulnerable enough defensively. It is going to be for those who don't know that fight, that is going to be a barn burner. That is going to be an amazing advertisement for the sport. What is next for Charlo? Doesn't seem to be keen. Now he's got a mandatory. He's supposed to have a mandatory, and Madrimov is supposed to be fighting Soto. So the winner of Madrimov versus Soto is mandatory for Charlo as well. So he's got a few mandatories. And Madrimov, I like Madrimov as well. Madrimov's a good fighter.